I'd like to welcome everybody here to celebrate the ribbon cutting. We're going to cut a ribbon, right? Something like that. So the ribbon cutting, the grand opening of our new restroom concession building here at Ronald Reagan Sports Park. This is an improvement to the old restroom, a large improvement to the old restroom, and it's brought to you by Measure S. So as you know, we've done a lot of other improvements throughout our park system, playgrounds and a lot of other things in the park system. And we actually have a lot of other things planned for this park as well coming up in the next year. So thank you, everyone from Temecula, for being part of this new facility. Just some facts and figures about this new facility. So we've got 8 individual restroom suites, and they are multi-gender, so usable by anyone. There's family restrooms with changing stations, so a very usable facility, and I'm sure it'll get a lot of use here with all the patrons of the park. It's about 1,000 square feet, and you may not know this, but the building itself was actually prefabricated. So we ordered this building, I want to say it was about a year ago is when it was first ordered. It was built by a company called Public Restroom Company, and then the site was cleared. The old restroom was demolished, and the site was cleared. And then I think it was about 3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, the new restroom building showed up on trucks. It was 3 different sections on trucks that came, and within a day they were lifted off the trucks and set down, and then a lot of work was needed to assemble everything, but pretty quickly once they got here, the building was put together and ready for use here. The contractor that did the installation and the groundwork here was IE General Engineering, so thank you to them. Plans for the project were prepared by David Evans and Associates, so thank you to them. And we've got a couple other speakers, but I want to recognize a few other people. Laura Bragg from the Public Works Department was the project manager. Nino Abad from the Public Works Department. Stacy Fox, our Parks Maintenance Superintendent. He'll be in charge of this now that it's ready to open here. And our TCSD team, Erica Russo, Gwen Wilcox, and all your staff here. We'll have a nice new facility for your park users here. So we've got a couple of other speakers now. So first of all, Mayor Pro Tem Zach Schwank. So I'd like to welcome Zach.
Thank you, Pat. So I think this takes the cake for the most unique ribbon cutting that I think we'll ever have. I want to thank the community for coming out. It's great to see everyone here today. When you talk about facilities, restrooms don't always sort of bubble up to the top of the list, but I can tell you I'm trying. For me, and I know for many folks, when you come to a park like this, you want to have a nice, clean, safe place to do your business. And so we have that now, and I think it's wonderful. You guys got me sidetracked. Because I had a bunch, and then Marianne just looks at me like that. But it's really important, and Pat mentioned Measure S. These things are important to our community. If you go back and look at a lot of the community surveys, restrooms are top of the list, and that's important. So we focus on many things. This is just one thing to make our community a better place, and it genuinely does. The concession stand is a vast improvement on what was here, and the restrooms as well. So again, thanks to everyone for coming out. This is just the beginning of many more restrooms. And I think if we're going to do a ceremonial first flush, I think Owen's got dibs on the first flush. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Zach. So our next speaker will be Councilmember Marianne Edwards, and she's got her props all ready here.
Okay, you can heckle me. Thank you very much. That old facility, it comforted a lot of bums. I'll just put it that way. Over the years, imagine the thousands and thousands and thousands of kids, adults that use that facility. And I spent quality time in the snack bar myself, selling snacks. and tried to use that restroom as little as possible. But, it served its purpose for all these years. And where else can you have a celebration on, cutting a 2-ply, this is 2-ply, on the restroom, so this would be symbolic, with all deference to President Ronald Reagan, who's our honored guest and always here, thanks to the Ronald Reagan Sports Park Foundation. So I'm ready any way you want to do this. Thank you, everybody. And I will add that Measure S paid for this, Temecula residents. Half of the money we collect from Measure S also comes from visitors and tourists. So thank you, visitors and tourists. And that would be any of the visiting away teams that come here for, sports events. And so thank you to them also. And we will chop the toilet paper on your behalf as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mary Ann. And so now our chairperson for the Community Services Commission, Kathy Sizemore, is here to say a few things also.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I want to say just a very gracious thank you to our City Council, our Public Works Department, our city staff, and our TCSD family for making this a reality. If you are a parent, a grandparent, or you've ever just taken a small child to a park, you know that the restrooms are not the fun part and the important part of the park, but they're very necessary and they can make or break your park experience. And I say that as a parent who has had to leave a park because their child was screaming because the restroom wasn't accessible or to their liking. So this is a beautiful facility. I love that it's inclusive. I was looking at all the signage over there and there's Braille on it, so it's accessible for all of our guests. And I love that the restrooms are large enough that as a mom with multiple kids, you can actually go in one of those stalls with your child and your stroller would fit in there. So it's going to be really great for the families coming here. And I don't want to forget the concession stand because, yes, if you've been to a sporting event with small children, you know that food can also make or break the experience. So this will be a great facility for all of our residents here in Temecula. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to cut a ribbon in just a second, but just want to acknowledge, as usual, our special events team, Don, Tracy, and the rest of the TCS team for setting this up and holding all these events that they hold, and always do a wonderful job with organization and getting everything ready and making it look so easy and so smooth. So, all right, well, we're going to cut a ribbon here, and we've got another little thing to cut to go with that. So I think we're going to go over to the restroom now and cut that ribbon.